We're all really excited today because we're making a chocolate chip refrigerator cake, kind of like the cake that you make with the chocolate wafers and the whipped cream, but with chocolate chip cookies instead. It's gonna be really great. And first, of course, you need to make cookies. So I have 2 1/4 cups of flour, and this is a teaspoon of baking soda, and then 1 1/4 teaspoons of coarse salt. Whisk together. Make sure you whisk it properly because you want to make sure that your baking soda is well distributed in the dry ingredients. And then I have 2 sticks of butter, 1 1/2 cups of light brown sugar, and to that I'm adding 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. And then make sure your butter is room temp and beat until fluffy and light. You're looking for your mixture to get lighter and fluffier, but with brown sugar, I've said this before, it doesn't get as light and fluffy as with white sugar, so just keep that in mind when you're looking to see where you're going. It should be nice and well combined, and if your butter is soft, then it'll take no time at all. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 2 large eggs. You want to add each egg and let it beat in before you add the second one so it combines well, and eggs add additional leavening power to the chemical leavener, which is the baking soda, so you want to give it its chance to actually beat up. You can add them all at once. Not like a cake batter, you're not wanting to keep it tender in the same way that you do with a cake, so I just go ahead and add all my flour at once, but be careful when you turn the mixer back on that you don't turn it too high, because things go flying out of this mixer if it's on too high of a speed in the beginning. 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then beat that to combine and your cookie batter is done. It's a very classic cookie dough. 1 tablespoon scoops onto parchment-lined baking sheet. They spread a little bit, so give them some room between to spread out. They don't have to be perfectly shaped though, because you're going to form these into the base of your cake, and you're not really going to see each part. So continue doing this, baking them off until you bake them all. These should take about 12 to 14 minutes in a 375 oven. To make your cake, you'll need 3 layers of 9 each cookies. How many cookies is that? It's a lot, so bake off all your cookies. And then to assemble, you have to whip a bunch of cream. I have 3 cups of heavy cream in my mixer, and I'm gonna whisk that with 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. This adds richness, not that you need more richness, and a little bit of stability to the heavy cream, with 2 tablespoons of sugar. And if you like, you can add some vanilla, you can add some whiskey. It's up to you. And this is a tablespoon of whiskey. You can use bourbon, vanilla, whatever you want. You want to make sure your whipped cream is stiff enough to hold up all of those cookies. So it shouldn't be that loose, sort of pillowy whipped cream. The recipe doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to create a little layer of glue for my cookies on the bottom of my cake stand, but this way when you layer your cookies on there, they won't slide all over the place. And it's delicious glue, so there. You can slightly overlap them. This works great. There you go. So each layer gets built like this, spreading the whipped mascarpone and cream between each layer. You'll need to do 7 layers. You want to go almost completely to the edge with the whipped cream. You'll need to use about 1 cup per layer. You want to overlap as little as possible because the whipped cream is what's going to soften these cookies and turn them into sort of cake layers. So you want to not have them overlap too much, but it's nice to have not too much space between them as well. So use your judgment. Keep layering until you've used up all of the whipped cream and all of the cookies, and then refrigerate it for at least 2 hours and up to overnight. You're definitely going to want to cover it so that all of the moisture stays in, doesn't get dried out or get any of those refrigerator flavors, but also the moisture from the whipped cream is what softens the cookies into the cake-like layers. To make it a little bit more even and cute, I've been overlapping so that I go where the gap is with the next layer of cookies, and I think it's cute that way. I also seem to be going smaller as I get to the top because all of a sudden I just realized that I started out with 9 on the bottom and now I only have 6. It's all right. It doesn't look uneven, so that's the most important part. Okay. Final layer. Okay. That was the final layer. It should go into the refrigerator, and like I said, overnight. You probably want to cover it. So it's had chance to soften. I left mine in the refrigerator overnight. You can top it with more whipped cream because there's never enough whipped cream in life. Sprinkle with some chocolate shavings. Or if you don't have chocolate shavings, you could do like little mini chocolate chips or something like that. Whatever you like. And then, of course, you're going to want to try your masterpiece, right? I want to try mine. Oh boy. This serves a lot of people. I'm just saying, it's a humongous cake. I mean, the crazy thing is all that whipped cream, which was like 7 cups of whipped cream, all got absorbed into the cookies. It's totally delicious. And it serves like 100,000 people. So make it for your next party and then thank me afterwards. If you like recipes like this and you want more, make sure to click like and subscribe because we have plenty more where this came from.